Sons of Anarchy is over. Seriously, it's over. The finale is over, and we're just getting started here to cover the final ride of Sons of Anarchy. And here are the two guys who we've got this: Rob Cesternino and Josh Wigler. Josh!
Oh man, Rob, you got this. You got this. You can do the podcast on your own, right? You just shot me in the arm, so I kind of got to go take care of that.
Oh my God. Oh, I can't believe it. We're in mourning. Sons of Anarchy is over.
Oh man. Yeah, it's done. That's it. No more.
That's
no
it.
more.
It's over, Josh.
Final ride. Finally. Yeah, that was incredible.
It's pronounced finale.
Finale. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I've been pronouncing that wrong all these.
Sons of Anarchy finale.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's anarchy? I thought it was anarchy. This is very
Oh my
uncomfortable.
God.
This is a bad start.
Yeah, so Sons of Anarchy finale is here, and we're going to break it all down. We are totally interactive for those of you guys who stayed up late tonight. It's just after midnight on the East Coast talking about Sons of Anarchy. And here we've got the chat room going, also on post-show recaps. Also, Scott St. Pierre's monitoring your tweets, hashtag PS Recaps, and also on our YouTube channel at postshowrecaps.com/YouTube. We want to get your reactions tonight, your unanswered questions. Were you satisfied with the finale? Did you like it? Was it a bust? 0 earbuds? 2 earbuds? Let us know what you thought about the Sons of Anarchy finale as we break it down. Josh, what's your quick reaction, rapid reaction?
Man. I was very sad to say goodbye, Grandma, to Sons of Anarchy.
Goodbye, Grandma.
Goodbye, Sons of Anarchy. It was. I liked that more than I think I expected to. I feel pretty satisfied by that, which I feel like this is going to be another one of those series finales where some people are going to feel pretty good about it, some people are going to feel not so great about it. They don't really answer the homeless woman. I think a lot of people are going to be pissed about that. But I enjoyed it. It was fun to see Jax on his final ride and to see him go on his apology/murder tour. It was nice to see how the infrastructure of the club is going to shake out in the era post Jax Teller. Nice to see him get some closure with JT. I'm not gonna hate on seeing dead Unser and dead Gemma. I was glad they were invited to the party. So overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, it kind of hit all the notes that I would hope. I hope that it would hit. So I'm a pleased customer tonight.
Yeah, I think you have to walk away happy with the Sons of Anarchy finale. I mean, they basically came out there and did what you expected tonight. You know, there was no big curveballs, nothing you're walking away from in the end. Like, wait, what? They did what in the ending? What was that? You know, where you have these other shows like your Dexter and God, I'm gonna say it, Josh, you're Lost. The Sopranos.
I don't disagree about Lost.
And stuff like that, where you walk away from like, what did they do with that ending? They ruined the whole show. Whereas they just basically they went up there. I feel like they didn't try to hit the home run. They just said, okay, we're just gonna give you about what you're expecting here tonight. And I feel like they delivered. They tied up most of the loose ends. Yes. I know some people are going to be frustrated with the homeless woman, but was this show ever going to just be like, oh, you see, what the homeless woman meant was blah, blah, blah. Like, they were going to leave that open-ended.
They're probably answering that on Anarchy Afterward right now. We should probably stop podcasting and just go listen to the answer there.
Yeah, I caught the first few minutes. Seemed like they were getting down to a lot of answers.
Oh, man. Really?
Or answers.
Answers.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. If they're talking about Unser, I got to go.
No, it seemed like they were talking a lot about the process of the show.
Sure. Fair enough.
A lot of process talk.
No, I don't disagree with what you said. I think if there's something to take issue with, I don't think that this is necessarily the most controversial statement in the world, but maybe it is. I think that you can take issue with the final season of Sons of Anarchy, and I think that there are people who are going to. But I think given what we got in the final season of this show, this finale fit with that. It fits really well with everything that came in this, this really epic bloodbath of a season. It's just this huge, this terrible, terrible series of unfortunate events is basically what the final season of Sons of Anarchy was. Everybody making horrible mistakes, everybody killing each other for the wrong reasons. And I think that the way that this finale played out, it fit really well given the 12 episodes that preceded it. So I'm within the context of this final season, I think that it's satisfying.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair to say. If you want to take issue with season 7, I think that there are lots of gripes that you could have. But coming into where we were tonight, from where the table was set, there was really only one way this could all end.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like we're pretty close to getting how this played out based on what we were talking about last week, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
All
and
right, well,
I think most Sons of Anarchy fans had pieced together. Doesn't look like Jax is going to get out of this one. He's going to meet Mr. Mayhem, whether it's by his own hand, which is what it ends up being, or if he's going to have the club kill him. He's not getting out of the finale next week alive. That's certainly how it played out. I don't know that I would have thought that Vic Mackey would be the guy to kill him, but there you go. So it was fun.
Papa's Goods.
Papa's Goods. Papa's Goods is a bad driver, man. He needs the eyes on the road.
Yeah, well, let's get into talking about the top story and Jax's ultimate demise here. He ends up going from the beginning of the episode, like within like the first 5 minutes, you walked away tonight saying, okay, well, Jax is definitely dead. If there was any question coming into this episode, just the opening sequence, and he went really about the entire day planning his death, and there was very little question throughout the entire episode that Jax was going to die. It was just going to be a question of how.
Pretty good final day.
Very productive. You know, it's
Productive,
amazing.
yeah.
You know, they say like the day before you go on vacation, you get more done than any other day because you know you're not going to be able to put anything off until tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that applied on Jax Teller's final day of life.
Yeah, absolutely, because he gets a lot done, kills a lot of people.
A lot of people died.
He gets away with a lot of murders. I saw a lot of people on Twitter and on Reddit saying they really couldn't believe how he walked away from that August Marks shooting on the staircase of the courthouse so easily.
It's because he had the invisibility cloak.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, it's from Hogwarts.
Okay, well, good on him because it was
The homeless lady is Hermione. You didn't pick up on that?
The homeless lady was Hermione the whole time?
Yes. She used the time turner and went further back into the past than she intended, and now she's like an old homeless lady.
Wow.
Did
Kurt Sutter tweet that?
Yeah, I have in my other headphone, I'm listening to Anarchy after.
Explain that.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. So we have Jax, and there was a lot of imagery of Jax as a Christ figure in this episode. Josh, am I reading too much into that? Am I off base with the Jax is a Christ figure?
I don't know that you're reading too much into that when the final spoken word of Sons of Anarchy is Jesus. That's what Big Mackey says right before he slams into Jax with his truck. So I think if that's what you're picking up, Rob, I get the feeling that that's what Kurt Sutter's putting down.
Okay. All right. Should we explore this a little bit? Jax as the Christ figure. John Teller is God. Jax is Jesus Christ. He sacrifices himself for his sins so that the sons may go on.
They should have played some Jesus Christ Superstar then for the final song.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Boy, I don't remember Jesus killing that many people though.
Yeah, this is a very vengeful Jesus if that's what we're looking at here. I thought he was supposed to be Hamlet. Could he be Hamlet and Jesus?
Yeah, the Jesus thing was a little bit of a, right turn there at the end.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, Jax in his final moments, he puts his hands out, a la being somebody like on the crucifix to go into Vic Mackey's car as he screams Jesus.
And then his blood mixes in with the loaf of bread at the very end. Is there a little something there too?
Well, absolutely, and not to mention, the bread and the wine with the homeless woman. And then we get back to that same, eat this bread. This is, the blood of Christ. And so Jax Teller as Jesus Christ. What should we take away from that?
I guess we're supposed to kill more people, right? I mean, if we're following his example, we should probably really just answer all of our problems with violence.
I mean, I understand Jack's death on some level or a lot of levels is a sacrifice, but outside of that, I do have a little bit of a hard time wrapping my head around Jax as a Christ.
I don't know, how was Jesus' butt? Was it as good as Jax's butt?
Well, I know Jesus had good abs at the very least.
Jax's abs are fine. It's really his rump that I'm interested in.
That's his best angle?
Yeah, by far.
Yeah. All right. So we'll explore that a little bit more as we go along here. A little bit of business as far as the Sons of Anarchy goes. Chibs is your new president. Tiggs is your new vice president.
Oh man, yeah, VP Tig, President Chibs. I'm liking the new era of Sam Crow.
Yeah. So that
T.O.
was
was in the mix. I'm happy about that.
T.O.'s in the mix, except then he didn't get invited to. Was he in the Mayhem vote?
No, he was not. They
Um,
said he shouldn't be there for the Mayhem vote. I think that's kind of messed up.
Why not? Why can't he be there? They
I
let
don't know.
Rat be there. They let the giant guy who doesn't, the Hodor of Sons of Anarchy in there.
Quinn?
Yeah, and they
Quindor?
let the mini Dave Navarro looking guy in there who doesn't talk.
Right. You would think that they would have had room for Tiberius at the table there.
Yeah, yeah. Did you give birth to him?
I'm not trying to say I didn't.
You don't get to say that.
Tiberius?
You don't get to say that. So we have that whole scene. Now, why did the Sons need to go through this elaborate ruse, which seemingly was just to trick the audience?
I don't know. I really thought that Jax at that point, this was the only moment on the show where I kind of had a fleeting thought that Jax was going to come out of this alive, because I thought that they were pulling like a season 4 24 on us, where Jax is going to do this elaborate faking his own death and ride off into the sunset. I'm glad they didn't do that, but I was laughing pretty hard for a solid 5 minutes after he and the Sons were staging his exit. I don't know. I guess he just wanted to die on the bike, and if he's meeting Mr. Mayhem, it wouldn't work out that way.
Yeah. But, I mean, why go through the charade of taking the vote and then making it look like they're going to murder him? Is it just then they could show Indian Hills?
Yeah, possible
forensics
deniability, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, couldn't they have just shot Happy in the arm, and did they have to actually line Jax up like they were going to execute him?
No.
And then he got away?
No, but it looks better if they do it that way.
I mean, that really just seemed like that was theater for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about
It looked good. It looked good. It was cool.
Some people were commenting about this online as I was following along. The deaths of Baraski and August Marks. Did that feel tacked on to you?
No, the death of Baraski is going to go down for me, I think, as a top 10 Sons of Anarchy death. I laughed.
Really?
Yeah, I laughed for a very long time after that. I
don't think it was supposed to be funny.
It was great. It was great. It was such a surprise that there's no build up to it whatsoever. Jax just walks into the room and pops him in the face, the same way that Baraski did that to the pawn shop guy a few episodes back. It was perfect justice. It was so sudden. It was just completely out of nowhere. I enjoyed it. That's fine. That's really all I needed from Borowski in this episode.
Yeah, so you're glad they just cut to the chase.
Yeah, just do it. Just, don't give me like another farewell speech from Jax with somebody else. Just have Jax walk in there and just shoot him in the head.
What about August Marks?
Well, I didn't like that one quite as much. Because we see that he has the blanket from the homeless woman. She gives him the blanket. Hermione gives him the blanket, and Jax goes and sits on the steps, and we see him in the blanket. So there's really no element of surprise to that one. So I thought that they telegraphed that too hard. I would have liked a little bit more of a surprise with the August Marks thing, but
I mean, he was the big bad of the entire season, August Marks.
No, man, you're missing the point. Jax was the big bad.
I thought he was the big good.
No,
he's Jesus.
He's the bad guy. The bad guys lose in the end, Rob.
No, but I thought he won in the end.
They're telling you that Jesus is bad.
No.
Yeah.
No. It was a good day for the good guys.
Really?
I think so.
Papa's goods, I guess. Yeah.
Jax got everything he wanted in the end.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't think that Jax had an unhappy death. I think that for Jax, I think he feels like this was a happy ending.
Well, I think he thinks it's the righteous ending. But he says the bad guys are going to be dead at the end of the day. He's one of the bad guys.
No, the bad guys were just August Marks and Baraski.
You don't think that he considers himself one of the bad guys?
I know he says that he's a murderer and a killer, but I feel like he doesn't consider himself truly.
No, I think that's what he's doing. He's putting an end to all of the horror that he's unleashed upon everybody. He's the problem. He's stopping the problem.
I mean, I could see it either way. I'd be interested to know in the chat room. Does Jax consider himself to be one of the bad guys? Yes or no?
I think so.
Let's see that. Let's get
I
a
think
quick
so.
poll.
But you're right though. Other that argument aside, you're right that August Marks was certainly one of the big bad guys of the season. I think that maybe they could have gone for it a little more than they did.
If I was going to make a complaint with the finale, I would say I think we spent too much time on the Irish stuff. I think we spent about a half hour of this finale.
We did.
2-hour finale on the Irish.
But that was something that JT wanted to get them out of. He wanted to get them away from the Irish Kings. So Jax is honoring his father there. So I think that's an important one to tack on there if Jax is trying to make good with JT. And I also don't have a problem with, surprisingly enough, I don't have a problem with the goofy car chase scene.
No?
Which is usually something that we don't like that much on Sons of Anarchy. You and I, at least, tend to think that stuff is pretty cheesy. And not to say I didn't think it was really cheesy tonight, but I'm glad that the series finale of Sons of Anarchy has one of its signature gimmicks. I'm glad that it has one of its signature goofy car chases in its final ride. I don't think that it would have been a Sons of Anarchy finale without it.
What do you think about the song choice there? We get like some sort of like
Fools Rush In
version of Fools Rush In.
That was great. It was great. That was awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was. It felt like it could have been just about any other episode of this season of Sons of Anarchy, and for some reason that just really worked for me. I don't know. I thought it was pretty fun.
We got to say goodbye to Lila tonight.
I know, not Opie's kids though.
Not Opie's kids.
Big disappointment.
Unfortunately.
No Opie.
Yeah, so a lot of screen time for Lila tonight.
And a lot of screen time. I thought that last week was going to be the final appearance of a butt on Sons of Anarchy.
No, what you forgot about fat ass in my face?
Yeah, we're all about the poetry here.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they gave us one last butt for the road.
Yeah. Is Jax reincarnated as a crow?
You mean did he warg into a crow?
Yes, did he warg?
Yeah, he's got the power.
Yeah.
That was the three-eyed raven.
That was the three-eyed raven. Oh my God, fantastic.
Yeah.
Did Jax do right by Wendy here?
You mean boning her, then not really talking to her and stiffing her with the kids?
Yeah.
That whole thing?
And giving her like the little bit of money. Like it used to be in the beginning of the show. Like the first couple seasons was about like Sons of Anarchy. It was like the idea was it was like lucrative to be in the Sons of Anarchy. Like there was a lot of talk about making money. We got to do this because we need to make money. I can't tell you the last time we talked about any money the Sons of Anarchy are making. So I don't really know what Jax Teller's net worth is, but I can't imagine it's that much. It's
good enough.
I guess so.
He's got the whole Redwoody thing going. That seems like it's going well.
But that was going to the Sons.
Diosa was going great until everybody got murdered.
Yeah.
Maybe they've got some like life insurance out of that.
I don't know. I think that what they were doing was they were selling TM and selling Jax's house, and that was it.
Yeah, and just anything he can do to get Wendy and the kids out of Charming.
I guess so. I mean, Jax's house wasn't that nice.
Wow. Look at you staring down from your castle, Rob.
I just wasn't like for the president of the Sons of Anarchy. You would think they'd have a nicer place.
He's downplaying it.
What about Gemma's house? Could they sell Gemma's house?
Probably going to sell Gemma's house. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he should have gave that to her. Also, what about Gemma's dad's house?
No, he's not there anymore. Actually, so no. Yeah, they should sell that too.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But who's going to buy these houses where there was so much murder?
Hey, you could get a good deal. People aren't going to walk away from a good deal.
People buy murder houses?
People buy murder houses.
I guess that's what the first season of American Horror Story is all about.
Yeah. All right. So should Jax have told Wendy that he was going to plan this trip?
No, I don't think so. I think that Jax probably shouldn't have had sex with Wendy immediately after killing his own mother and then deciding that he's going to kill himself the next day. I think maybe don't leave her with that complex. I think that's kind of a hard thing to come back from. That doesn't seem too considerate.
Let's talk Nero.
Okay.
I thought Nero's reaction to this news was surprising. I thought that we were going to have more of a confrontation in this episode than we ultimately ended up having between Jax and Nero.
Well, what did you expect Nero to do? To like kick his ass?
Yeah, I thought that there would be a little bit more of a confrontation
Papa's
over
beatdown?
Papa, yeah, something, or at least like Jax. I told you not to kill Gemma, and you did it anyway.
Yeah, but I feel like, when Jax admits that, yeah, I did that, he's also telling Nero at the same time, like, but I'm pretty much not going to be a problem for you anymore, so hope you're cool. Hope it's okay. Please take care of my kids.
I mean, what'd you think of when Nero went into Unser's camper and we saw like Unser had like the whole like Homeland bulletin board up in his like? Don't you think that's really ballsy of Unser to be like having like that big chart with like Jax's face on it? Like, I mean, he lives in like the hive of the Sons of Anarchy, and like his camper has like all of his clues of like trying to like get the Sons of Anarchy implicated in this murder.
Well, I might be inclined to say that perhaps Unser is a little bit dumb there, but I'm not going to speak ill of the dead, especially not dead Unser. So I won't say that. I'm not.
I read an interview with Unser during the week, and people because
he's a fun interview. I've talked to that guy.
Yeah. What's the actor's name?
Dayton Cali.
Yeah, and
he's a surly guy. He's fun.
Yeah, he was funny because people were talking about like we talked about last week. Unser is dumb. And it's like, well, no, he's just like baked 24/7.
Is that what he said?
Well, he talked about how he's smoking pot all the time.
Yeah,
like, what do you expect from this guy?
He's
true. Old. He's smoking pot, and he's just not on top of his game.
It's a good point. That's a really good point. He does get pretty. He gets ripped. He gets pretty stoned, so he's not always thinking with clarity.
What's going on with Nero and Wendy now? Is that like are we shipping that? Is that
I'm shipping the crap out of that. Yeah, man. Let's go Wiro.
Wiro.
Yeah, that's a happy ending.
I'll say, boy, that sounds pretty good. Wendy and Nero.
Yeah, that's a great deal for everybody.
Yeah. I saw Drea Di Matteo said that the Sons of Anarchy finale was going to be the best TV finale of all time.
All right, well, let's rein that right. let's rein that in right now if we can. What do you say? What do you say to that, Rob? Best series finale of all time, Sons of Anarchy.
That.
Endorsed.
Endorsed. Yes. So, what about the boys? Okay, what about Abel and Thomas?
What about Abel and Thomas? Well, Abel has that ring that Gemma gave to him. So we see that at the end when they're driving off in the montage, and we see Abel in the back seat playing with the son's ring, and Jax seems to have wanted to do everything he can to keep the boys away from that life and admiring that life. He wants the kids to grow up to hate him, but I don't know. Is there anything to take away from the fact that Abel has this ring? Is he gonna remember his daddy fondly?
You think that Abel could grow up to be like Lone Star, and one day somebody will tell him the meaning of the ring?
The Schwartz is with me.
Yeah. By the way, I think we've understated how creepy Thomas is. Also,
Thomas is just always crying.
He looks creepy too.
Yeah, but he doesn't have creepy Abel voice yet.
He has creepy hair.
Yeah.
He looks like he's like been through like you've been like rubbing a balloon on his head for 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's always very staticky.
Very staticky.
Yeah.
Thomas, I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know.
But anyway, so yeah, the kids go off. Jax wants the kids to grow up to hate him, but then he has a very sweet goodbye with them. I thought he was gonna say like, "Get out of here, kids."
Right? Isn't that the move to like give them one really lousy final memory to cling on to if he wants them to hate him?
Yeah.
He should have like hit them.
I don't know what he should have done.
He should have hit him.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't hit kids.
Well, if Jax wants them to hate him.
Yeah.
Right? Or he should have at least like made fun of them a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, Abel, you sound like this.
He should have creeped them out.
Yeah, your voice is really weird, Abel. No one likes you, and you smell like farts.
Like farts. That's pushing it. That's too far over the line. Let's talk about Chibs.
Okay.
I
Wow,
thought that
Jibs was a real dick, huh?
yeah, I thought that the Chibs and Jerry thing ended up
Not a great payoff on the Chibs and Jerry thing.
no. I feel like she really came off looking dumb this whole season.
Yeah, not a good look for Jerry in the end.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
It was just sort of like she made him like have sex with her in public. And then like I don't know what she thought that was gonna be like if it was just for the thrill of that, and then she realized like, oh wait, I've made a terrible decision.
Yeah, it's that.
Sorry, no. And
It's
like
that.
not for anything. With all due respect to Chibs, I haven't really seen him with a lot of other,
Prospects,
better, yeah,
so to speak.
yeah, better like options out there. I mean, he hasn't really been a ladies' man throughout
Hasn't
the
been
series.
killing it in the. Yeah. No, you're right.
So, I don't know.
Doesn't he have like an ex-wife? I don't know what happened to her. I feel like they stopped talking about her after season 3.
Yeah, there was some stuff that went on in season 3, but I mean, that Chibs does not have that many romantic interests throughout the show.
No, he's all business. That guy.
He's all business.
And now that he's the prez, he's got eyes on the road, bro.
Yeah. What do you think happens for the Sons of Anarchy now?
I don't know. I mean, are they still involved in guns at all? Because they hook up the Mayans with what's his face, with Connor's like rogue operation. So are they still somehow involved in guns, or are they completely clean of that?
I think they're clean of that. I mean, I'm pretty sure now
So then is the plan Redwoody? So they're into porn.
Yeah, they basically sit there and they don't do anything. They just sit there and watch the porn.
So they're into Redwoody, they're into porn, they're into Diosa, so they're into the escort service, and they're into Scoops, so they're in ice cream. So they have porn, escort service, and ice cream.
See, now for the first time in
that
7
sounds like
seasons
a
of the
great
show,
club, to be honest.
Yeah, I can actually understand the appeal of wanting to be in the Sons of Anarchy.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if they can maintain that, then that's going to be one of the greatest clubs in the world.
Yeah. T.O. got in at the right time.
Awesome timing for T.O. Could not have come at a better time, I think.
What do you think of the scene where Jax reveals T.O. is being inducted into the Sons?
That's great. Good for T.O.
Yeah. Did you feel like that was a little heavy-handed?
Not like super heavy-handed, maybe a little.
Felt like a little bit. I felt like that was just sort of like
I was more overwhelmed with joy for Tiberius.
Yeah. I felt like it was the show kind of like doing like a make good for like
years and years of racism.
Years and years of like bad behavior, and then tried to say like, hey, look what we did that final episode. Jax, right before he died, that was one of his things on his to-do list, was to put T.O. in the Sons of Anarchy.
That makes Jax look pretty good.
Yeah.
Very progressive.
Emily wants to know, can women join Sam Crow now?
Maybe that's the next step.
Yeah, get a woman into Sam Crow.
Let's see how T.O. does, and then maybe a few years later they'll elect a female brother.
Well, I was gonna say, why don't we start with Venus? Would that be a? I
don't think Tig is gonna want Venus in this life. Let me just throw that out there. I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm trying to see any other big storylines. I know we're gonna have so many questions from the audience that's watching us live that just finished watching this. Anything else from?
No. Let's dig into the questions and see what people have for us, and things will pop up. No goodbye to Marilyn Manson. Are you sad about that, Rob?
No, I felt like we got that last
week.
Yeah.
While we're busy showing every like dead main character's corpse, were you sad that there was no Juice corpse?
Nope, because I feel like that was already cleaned up. I mean, other than like showing us him in the morgue, I don't know exactly what we were going to see. Just to reset how to get your questions in, you can either send them in via Twitter, #PSRecaps, or on our YouTube channel at postshowrecaps.com/YouTube. Also, I'm reading the chat room also as we're going, so if you have something that just pops into your head, put it in the chat room and we'll take it. Let's go with our first question here tonight, Jack. Let's get started. Josh, I called you Jax by
Jax Wigler.
Jax Wigler.
What's up, bros? All right, let's get this in from Fat Lobster on Twitter, who writes, if Benny Hill directed car chases, he'd direct them for Sons of Anarchy.
Or if Kurt Sutter directed comedy, it would be for Benny Hill.
That would be good.
Yeah, so that's all good. Yes, we didn't check in with any of our Greensleeves girls. What was the name of the girl that came over from Greensleeves?
Oh, Lady Greensleeves. What was her name? Winsome.
Winsome.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. It seems she lost out on appearing in the Sons of Anarchy series finale.
Oh man, what are you gonna do? Okay, and no Brooke follow up.
No Brooke follow up. No.
So the homeless lady was not Brooke's mom.
I guess not. Or
well, we didn't really talk too much about the homeless lady.
It's Hermione. What do you need to know?
Besides Hermione, are there any other theories that are out there?
I don't know. I think that it kind of reinforces, whatever angel of death thing that you wanna ascribe to it. She seems to show up in times of people who are either about to commit murder or have been murdered, or people who are about to pass. So I feel like she's some sort of she helps you through that. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we need a YouTube video of every clip of the homeless lady from Sons of Anarchy. I'm sure that will probably be up by tomorrow. If that is, please somebody send me the link. But I feel like Jax has seen her in the graveyard at different times.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, so he didn't.
And we saw her at the truck stop last week before. We saw her at the vending machine at the truck stop that Vic Mackey touched. Did she connect Vic Mackey and Jax?
I don't know.
Oh man.
So, yeah, we'll see. I'm sure there'll be a lot of theories about that. We'll follow that along. Jason Burning wants to know. So, what Happy? So what? Happy drew the short straw?
Yeah, I guess. Happy probably enjoyed that to a degree.
Yeah, I saw when Jax was saying goodbye to everybody. It was sort of like the Wizard of Oz ending, where it was like, "Oh yeah, I'll miss you, Lion. I'll miss you, Tin Man. I'll miss you."
Happy, I'll miss you most of all.
Yeah. Chib's got the "I'll miss you most of all" edit, but yeah, Happy was crying, and I was like, "Is he crying because he got shot in the arm?"
Nah, he's fine. He was good.
Yeah, he's fine.
He liked it.
Okay, let's take another question.
All right, this is from Nando. Nando writes, do you think that Jax could have gotten away during the police chase if he was driving a white Bronco?
Yeah, that would have been a better way to go.
Did you hear that FX is doing American Crime Story, the O.J. Simpson trial?
Are they really doing that?
Yeah, they announced today that Cuba Gooding Jr. is going to be O.J. Simpson.
For serious?
Yeah, I'm not joking.
Oh my God, I heard that the O.J. Simpson murder was going to be the next season of Serial.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of boring.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be OJ everywhere.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. I don't think it's really going to be. I think they're going to open up the investigation of Tara Knowles. I think.
Okay, now that I'm into.
Serial season 2.
I would like that if Unser hadn't died, so that he could host it.
Yeah, that would be good.
Where did we go wrong? Why did they do it?
He'd be the host. He'd
be the Sarah Koenig.
All right. Stephanie Elizabeth.
Unserial.
Yeah. Unserial. What the hell was with Borowski doing just shoveling grapes anyway? Yeah, you would think that Borowski would have gotten word that the Suns were onto him, right? I mean, we've established that he has this whole network and all this stuff. You would have thought that maybe he might have heard that maybe Jax...
Yeah, you would think that he wouldn't just be casually hanging out at the deli.
Yeah, you would think he would have at least heard, boy, I heard Juice killed Lynn in the prison. That's I was going to be some blowback.
Yeah, and he'd been in hiding for a while, so I don't know why he just kind of reemerged. For what it's worth, too, I thought that he was shoveling tomatoes, which would make sense because Vic Mackey had a truck filled with tomatoes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Also, is it possible that Jax didn't run into or didn't die in the truck accident, and what we thought was blood at the end of the episode was tomato juice?
That's possible.
Just throwing out some theories right now as they're coming to me.
That is possible.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like, and again, we might have to get Antonio on the line about the criminality of what Jax did. I mean, but at the point where Jax is murdering people in cold blood.
I think he can go to jail for that. I don't know if we need Antonio to decide.
In his cuts, Are the Sons culpable in any of these things, or are they just say, "Hey, we didn't know what our president was doing"?
Yeah, I think so. They
That
have
guy had a screw loose.
He shot Happy in the arm. Plausible deniability, man.
Okay. All right. Let's go to this question. Sir Pounce, your boy, Sir Pounce.
Sir
Jax
Pounce.
made sure to ruin someone else's life as his last move. Poor Mackie.
I know. I kind of was thinking that too. Jax couldn't find any other way to kill himself off other than to probably get this poor guy fired and sued to oblivion. Yeah, it's not great. But maybe Big Mackie deserved it. He was not a great guy.
Okay, Papa's Goods was also the name of the episode. What's the significance of Papa's Goods?
It's just the name of the truck. It's the name of the.
No, it's not just
the name of the truck. There's more.
It's got to be more. Why is the truck named Papa's Goods?
Well, because the daddy is going around giving the goods throughout this episode. Jax is giving.
That's it?
Yeah, he's giving the goods to his kids. He's getting the goods from his late father.
Maybe it's an anagram. What's Papa's?
Oh man, put it in the anagram solver.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, let's try.
It's the internet, man. Everything's
anagram solver.
Anagram solver.
Okay.
Papa's Goods. I'm going to do this right alongside.
This is why I don't play Words with Friends with you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll just anagram solve you to oblivion.
Papa's Goods.
Papa's Goods.
What do we got? Anything?
So far, nothing.
How do you spell Papa's? P-A-P-A-S?
P-A-P-A-P-A-S.
Okay. No, nothing good.
No answers. No answers found for Papa's Goods.
I feel
it's unanagrammable. Yeah. You can't anagram it.
All right. Let's go to our next question. What about from Emily Stobbs?
All right. Emily Stobbs writes, so the bread at the end of the final shot, does this mean that Jax is Jesus or something? I'm really not the person to ask as I am a Jew, but these are better questions for you, Rob.
Yeah. Would you consider converting now that we've made the case that Jax is indeed like Jesus?
Is that going to get me with a fork to the head or shot or something? I feel like this isn't good. I don't want to follow Jax's footsteps.
Riding through this church. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'm not ready to convert.
Come to the Church of Teller, Josh. The water's fine.
I don't know. I don't think it's a good call for me.
We'll baptize you in the sink. You'll love it.
No.
Come on.
No. Is the fork like the yarmulke for me?
Yes. No. That's the motorcycle helmet.
Oh, okay.
Give you a motorcycle helmet. It'll be like the same thing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We've got a question in from DMBFCK94. I have no idea what that stands for. Who writes in and says, "This is a bit late, but I've been thinking about Unser's death, and could it be interpreted that Jax shot him to spare him pain? Unser said Gemma was all he had. If he lived, he would have been crushed by her death even more when he found out everything she did, and he had his cancer. So maybe it was a mercy killing." What do you think, Rob? Did Jax give Unser the Mr. Mercy, not Mr. Mayhem?
It was certainly a mercy killing, but I don't know if that was necessarily somebody should have put Unser out of his misery a couple of
seasons
years
ago. Probably the third episode of Sons of Anarchy would have been good. Yeah, a long time.
But I don't think it was really a loving act to take Unser out.
No, it was more like just doing anything. It was
breathing. It was just listen, Unser, get out of here. He was too stupid for his own good. All right, let's go to another question. Devin Priester wants to know, my only problem was the August and Brasky deaths were a bit anticlimactic, no? I was following along in the Sons of Anarchy Reddit to the episode discussion.
Okay.
And they were comparing Jax's actions to he was being controlled by a player from Grand Theft Auto. And they said that the only difference would be that Jax would be at 4 stars at the point where the helicopters would be following him.
Yeah.
Except
the music takes over whatever you have on the radio at this point.
Right. But somehow Jax was able to avoid all that stuff.
Well, maybe he knows the cheat codes, and he inputted the cheat codes and got his wanted level down to no stars. He cleared the stars.
What'd you think of Jax's confession to Patterson in this episode?
I thought it was good. I saw some people, without getting too specific, I saw some people comparing it to a certain iconic scene from the Shield series finale, which I thought was, I don't think it was that good. But I liked it. I really like CCH Pounder. I always enjoyed seeing her on Sons of Anarchy. I wish we'd been able to see her a little more this season. So I thought it was nice to have her in a few scenes in this final episode.
Yeah, she's good.
She's
Always
great.
good.
Yeah.
Lance Davis, I just want to know where I can get my copy of the Fat Ass in My Face films. Any idea? I'd Google it.
Yeah, I think if you Google that, you're going to find some stuff. It might not be exact, but I think it'll be close.
I thought it was fat with a PH.
Like Pretty Hot and Tempting?
Yeah, like something like that.
Pretty Hot and Tempting asses in your face. That's not bad.
Yeah. I also saw a Emily in the chat was saying that is the homeless woman Mrs. Mayhem?
Mrs. Mayhem. Yeah, I misheard her when she says it's time. I thought she said I'm Miss Time.
Miss Time.
Yeah.
Like Father Time's wife?
Paramore. Yeah.
Now, did you like how Jax just came out and said to her, like, "Hey, who are you?"
Yeah, I liked that. He was saying what was on everybody's mind.
Yeah, that was good, but we didn't get the answer that was on everybody's mind.
We didn't get the answers.
Yeah. Now, she can't be a ghost or anything like that. Like, she has to be a real person because she gave Jax a real blanket. Like, it wasn't like a ghost blanket that she gave him.
How do you know?
I don't know, because a ghost blanket you'd see through. Like, you couldn't hide underneath a ghost blanket.
Are you suddenly the authority on ghost clothes?
Yes.
How do you know what can translate into the real world and what can't?
Because if it's a figment of your imagination, you can't carry it and hide it.
Well, Pitt 1971 says the homeless woman is clearly the Grim Reaper. It was pretty obvious tonight, in my opinion. So what do you think? You're ruling out the Grim Reaper.
I don't think she's the Grim Reaper because every character in the show that died didn't see her.
Right.
At least that.
Unless we go back and watch Sons of Anarchy and she's hidden in every single scene where somebody dies.
I guess so. Did Tara run into her?
I'm sure at one point or another she did.
Yeah. I don't know. Did that mean that Vic Mackey died also?
Oh, man. That's so sad. Poor Vic Mackey.
He had a rough night.
Jesus.
What do you think happens with Tig and Venus? That's from DMB FCK94, a big Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
Fan.
Oh, yeah. I love Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think that it seems like happily ever after for those two?
Yeah. Seems like a very happy ending. It seems like that I'm glad Venus got to make the final montage.
Yeah, that was great. I'm still bummed about no Opie's kids.
No Opie's kids, no Chucky. The final montage I thought was a little bit of a letdown.
What did you think, Rob?
Song-wise, like it was not one of the best montages in his, not a top 5 montage.
What did you think of everything with the crow at the end?
I kind of liked the crow. I thought that was good.
I've seen some people who aren't so fond of like the CGI crow.
Oh, the CGI of the crow?
Yeah.
What were they saying? It was like, I don't think that the effects on Sons of Anarchy over these final weeks have been particularly good. I didn't think the Gemma effect of her getting shot in the head was good. I didn't think that the Jax getting hit by the van or the truck was especially great. And the CGI crow was not great. It didn't bother me, but maybe this was, not the again, to get into like a lot of special effects here in the last final episodes.
Yeah.
Seems like that was the thing. Even Lost, it was something that they struggled with, especially when they first started doing it.
Oh,
right?
my God. Like the submarines and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, they're bad.
Yeah. So that's it's tricky to do that stuff.
Sure, absolutely.
Especially when you don't normally do it.
Yeah, and especially when you blow your budget on doubling the size of your episodes for every single episode of your final season.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's go to a couple more questions. Emily wants to say, did you know that the crows flying in the sky at the end refer to the Sons of Anarchy theme song?
Is that right?
Yeah. What is it? What the Sons of Anarchy theme song? It does say something about a crow.
The crow flies straight.
Yeah.
It's green sleeves.
Yeah, it's something about a crow. Uh, anyway, with the that final song, what was it saying? Like, come meet the murder. Come, what's the
I don't
chorus?
know. I don't remember the lyrics anymore, but I had you and I both had the same instinct to Google those lyrics and nothing came up, Rob, right?
Yeah, come join the murder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what do you think? Was this written specifically for the show?
I don't
This
know.
final song? And if so, is that cheating?
I don't know. We got to take a look and see. All right, so this is uploaded 44 minutes ago to YouTube. Come join the murder from the White Buffalo and the Forest Rangers.
Okay.
That's the song, and it looks like it is from the band White Buffalo.
Yeah, you just said that.
Yeah. Okay, and so I don't know. I don't know. Does Katie Seagal represent them? Is she their manager?
That wasn't Katie Seagal singing.
Maybe she wrote the song.
She has a secret baritone voice.
Yeah. I see on Rolling Stone also they have "Hear the Dark Swan Song" from the Sons of Anarchy finale.
It's called Dark Swan.
No, 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 no. It's a swan song, but it's a dark swan song.
Dark Swan Song is a great name for a band.
Yeah, that'll be our band.
Okay.
Who do you think had the best death of the principal cast members that died in season 7?
Of all of season 7.
Yeah.
Um. That's good. I think Bobby's I was probably the most surprised by. Just because I thought that after everything that they put Bobby through, I didn't think that he was going to die. I thought that they would hand him over and we would get sweet, awesome eye patch Bobby for the rest of the season, but that did not happen. So that surprised me the most. I think maybe Juice's was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Juice's death. I thought was good.
Okay. Here's a question from Shannon Kish. Even after all of Jack's efforts to keep his sons away from the Suns, do you think that Abel holding the Suns ring that Gemma gave him means anything? Is that the Precious, Josh?
Oh yeah, totally.
If he wears the ring, will he become a son?
I want it. I need it. Yeah, creepy Abel and Gollum have a lot in common. Goodbye, Grandma.
Do you know what it means, Grandma?
Grandma wants it. Grandma needs it. Yeah, his precious grandma.
Love Abel Gollum. Very
Yeah.
good. All right. What's this question?
This is great. Fat Lobster writes in, hey, since you guys are so lousy at picking presidents, maybe you should think about Velcro patches.
Yeah.
There was a moment, Rob. So that scene where Jax cuts off the president patch, and then cuts off Philip's vice president patch. I really was hoping that we were going to spend like a half hour just needle and threading some of these.
Oh no, you never see them needle and threading.
I know, but it was only like 11:15 at that point. You kind of felt like maybe the Suns, finale was going to go on for another couple of hours. I thought we could burn like 30 minutes on just sewing the patches onto people's vests. I thought that would have been good.
Do we just have one president patch for the entire? Like, is this the original president patch?
It's legacy,
JT
bro.
had?
Legacy.
Like, and no, it just doesn't have like blood and like ketchup and mustard all over it.
They wash it. That's why they have the old ladies. It's the old lady job, or the prospects probably do it too.
All right. Daniel Dyer said, wouldn't the cops already be looking for Jax because of the car chase he took them on in the last episode? Come on, stop. Don't ask these questions on Sons of Anarchy.
Didn't he change the plates?
Oh, yeah. So it's fine.
I think.
It's fine. All right. What is it? 2 more questions?
Let's do it.
All right. Here we go. Take this one from Mark Solera.
All right. Mark Solera writes in, so what's going to end up being the biggest gripe fans have with this finale?
Yeah. What's the narrative tomorrow when we go online on Wednesday?
I think the homeless lady is going to be a big one. I think maybe like the Jesus-like imagery for Jax will be another one.
CGI Crow.
CGI Crow might get some shit.
Here, 100 people surveyed, top 5 answers on the board. Here's the question. Name a problem people will have with the Sons of Anarchy finale.
Oh, yeah. So I think Jax Jesus-like imagery is going to be one of them. I think the CGI Crow. Maybe the title, Papa's Goods.
No, I don't think that. I think that no,
You think Papa's Goods is
that's a
safe?
nitpick. I think that's fine.
What else? Give me
I think
the rest
I
of
think
them.
the Baraski and August Marks thing. I think they're gonna say that. So we just had like two guys just shot like in one scene.
Right.
Yeah. I think homeless
Yeah,
lady
I
is
think
gonna
the
be
homeless is
probably
on there. Yeah. I hope that there's no hate for the Fools Rush In cover because that was incredible.
wacky car chase.
Oh, that was good. I enjoyed that so much.
Emily in the chat says too long. Didn't need to be 2 hours. No, look, every
You know
episode.
what? I refer back to what I said at the top of the podcast that I think you can say that that's a problem with the final season because every episode was 2 hours. You
All the
know,
episodes were too long.
if anything, I feel like the finale should have been 4 hours. You know, be consistent at least. You got to give us more than what we usually get in this finale, right?
Yeah, yeah. Emily has another one. Too predictable. Too predictable.
Too predictable. Yeah, I mean, like well, certainly too predictable probably for the people who read the spoilers, Rob. We didn't even talk about
Tell
this.
me about what happened with the spoilers this week.
Oh, man. So I wonder how many of you heard about this, but last week there's this companion book for Sons of Anarchy that was written and
You had
published.
pre-ordered it, right?
I had, yeah, I did. I definitely did. But this Sons of Anarchy companion book that's supposed to, be like a really good resource for super fans once the show is off the air. It was supposed to ship this week. It shipped a week early. And I've been reading about this. There was a page that basically just tells you who's gonna die on, who dies on Sons of Anarchy, which are the main characters who die and in which seasons. And there's the paragraph for season 7, and I guess season 7 listed a bunch of people who died who had not died yet as of last week.
Like Jax.
Like Jax. And so a bunch of people got spoiled on this final episode, and Kurt Sutter released a great statement condemning the C words who made this mistake. He said he'd have 1,000 heads in his basket by the end of the day, which it sounds like good preparation for his new show, The Bastard Executioner.
Yeah. So he was pissed. He wasn't blaming himself.
No, he blamed himself. He said that this is a creator's worst nightmare, and it's his fault because he thought that the book would be a cool idea, so he regrets, commissioning the book, even though he says the book is awesome. But he feels responsible because it was his idea to do the book. But I think he also probably feels like there's enough blame to go around for some other people as well. But yeah, that sucks. That's terrible.
What do you think it was a late decision to skip the Thanksgiving week and then they didn't change the book release date?
Yeah, maybe. I could see it.
Okay, let's do one more question here tonight with Sons of Anarchy. From Spice Wasabi, rank these finales. Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Lost, Sons of Anarchy. By the way, I thought that for a split second, I thought they pulled the Sopranos on us when they went to commercial, when Jax is like riding off at the end of the segment before the final segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. I thought that they would pull a Sopranos with the truck. I thought that, he would smash into the truck and we wouldn't see anything after that.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to try to rank these real quick? I think it's probably pretty easy to do, right?
For me, it's I like the Sopranos finale a lot more than a lot of people do. So I think I would go Sopranos 1, Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy, Lost right now.
Wow, you have Sopranos 1 on the list?
Yeah, I think so. I think that ending's iconic. I love the Sopranos ending.
Yeah, I think I'd probably do it. It's really hard because now we're getting into the actual. If we're just basing it on the last episode, a final episode only, I think I would do it. I think I would do Breaking Bad, Lost, Sons of Anarchy, Sopranos last.
Wow. What do you have against onion rings, man?
Because
what do you have
I felt like
what do you have against Journey? Don't stop believing, Rob.
Yeah.
You stopped believing.
I feel like the Sopranos ending was an FU to the fans.
Wow, this sounds like a spin-off podcast, Rob.
Okay, we could talk about it one day. We'll do
Yeah.
10 years after the Sopranos finale coming up in
Oh, I thought you were going to say
2017.
10 years after the Sons of Anarchy finale.
Well, that's coming up in 2024.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sure we could keep doing questions all night, but we gotta that it's getting towards 1 a.m.
Well, here's one last good
Okay.
one from Epic Saint 101 who writes, "Do you think that there will be a spin-off show or a similar one in the same universe as Sons of Anarchy? What do you think after all of this, after this final season? Kurt Sutter has talked a lot about how he would like to do a Sons of Anarchy prequel that tells the story of the first 9, tells the story of JT bringing the club together. Do you think we need to see that? Do you think that we're going to see that someday?"
I've heard Kurt Sutter talk about that he wants to do like graphic novels of like Sons of Anarchy charters in different places, and I don't know. I think
I
that
mean, he already has Sons of Anarchy comics. He has a Sons of Anarchy book.
like I feel like this world has been pretty well explored. I mean, if you want to get into the story of JT and all that stuff, but I mean, I kind of feel like we know all that stuff. I think that's hard to do when it's a prequel and we know everything already of like where it's going. It was tough to do it with the Star Wars prequels. I don't know. I don't think we need it. I think that Kurt should focus on his next show, work on making that a hit. And I feel like only if that next show fails will we see Kurt potentially return to the Sons of Anarchy verse.
I'm down. That sounds good.
Okay. All right. Josh, Sons of Anarchy is over. But we're just getting started here on post-show recaps. And we have so many more shows coming up, including Justified, which is returning to FX with our own Venus.
Yeah, Venus is a very different character on Justified. Yeah, Venus Van Dam is Boyd Crowder on Justified. But Antonio Mazzaro and I just started a Justified podcast here on Post Show Recaps. We're rewatching the whole series before the final season premieres on January 20th. If you've never watched the show before, we're keeping those podcasts spoiler free, so we're only talking about whatever season we're talking about any given week. So definitely go and check that stuff out. I love Justified. I think, no disrespect to Sons of Anarchy since it just ended. I think Justified's a much better show than Sons of Anarchy. It's a great show. It's very, very clever, very crazy, really great characters. If you're a Sons of Anarchy fan and you haven't given Justified a shot, I strongly recommend you do. I think you'll enjoy it a lot.
Is this final season of Justified?
It is. This is it. Season 6.
How many? So 13 episode seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, but you know what? Every episode's like an honest 40 minutes instead of 100,000 minutes like Sons of Anarchy. so you can actually binge it pretty fast. It'll go quick.
All right. So we can't wait to get into that. And then, of course, we'll have plenty more new shows starting up in 2015 when a bunch of shows are coming back. So very excited about that. So make sure you don't miss any of our coverage here on Post-Show Recaps. And if you're only subscribed for Sons of Anarchy, make sure you pick up a subscription to the full feed of all the shows we do on Post-Show Recaps. You could do that at postshowrecaps.com/iTunes. Subscribe to the main feed of Post Show Recaps, postshowrecaps.com/iTunes.
Do it. That's great. That's a good choice.
Emily is saying just binge it. Just do it.
Just binge Justified? I co-sign that.
Yes, just watch 66 episodes of Justified. Come on.
It's worth doing.
Don't be a baby.
It's very good. It's very good.
All right. Josh, thank you for all of your outstanding work this season on the Sons of Anarchy podcast.
Rob, you know what? You're the one who should be thanked. You binge-watched every episode of Sons of Anarchy to get ready for this final ride. Very impressive that you were able to do that, Rob.
Yeah, I watched season 1, episode 1, I believe in July.
Yeah, so that's a crazy ride for you to go from July to now watching all of Sons of Anarchy. That's intense. You're a crazy person, Rob.
Goodbye, Josh.
Goodbye, Rob.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, Grandma. Do you think that Abel will release like a Goodbye, Grandma children's book?
I hope so.
Yeah.
That would be
Goodbye, Grandma.
All right. Well, thanks. Thank you, everybody,
Tommy.
for staying up late with us. Thank you, Scott St. Pierre.
Good night, Scott.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you guys have to say about the finale. Let us know your take on thumbs up or thumbs down on the Sons of Anarchy finale. Have a great night, everybody, and goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.